essay to the governor on women and youth mobilization.
Youths in Nigeria has been urged to shed the toga of being used mostly as ballot box snatchers and political talk by politicians, and concentrate on effectively participating in politics to gain political office and so make necessary impact. These and others were on the banner at this year's annual OJN Symposium held in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital. Youth leaders and stakeholders from across Nigeria and Africa converged to discuss in-depth issues affecting Nigeria and African youth under the theme, The Political Atmosphere, Renegotiating the Place of Youth through Commitment, Resilience and Action. The convener, who also marked his 34th birthday on the same day, Ambassador Oladele John Nihi said, recent happenings in the country's political space require that young people must come together to renegotiate their place in the leadership of the country.
As we move into 2023. But not just renegotiating it, but with resilience, with commitment, and with truthfulness to ourselves. Nigeria youth, we will not just be going to the ballots to vote, but for the youth leaders who are here, the youth corpus, let's begin to sensitize ourselves and say, as we move into 2023, we must vote for a candidate. Since we cannot be the leader at the table, we must vote for a candidate that will bring the youth to the table.
The keynote speaker at the event, Professor Rotimi Ajayi, urged youths not to disappoint destiny. He emphasized relevance, commitment, engagement, and having the brain power to occupy a critical position crucial to the development and progress of any sector of the economy.
Today, the political space is agog with what we call the cacophony of noise over candidacy or candidate selection. And we are beginning to witness the fallout of the exercise across the various political parties. So much has been said about that. What is essential, and I believe that youth must look up attention. Number one is value. As a youth, what value do you espouse? What is your own mental picture of the future you envision for this country? And your answer to this question will determine your preparation towards it. When you talk about Nigeria as a youth, what exactly is in your mind? Is it about how to just occupy an office? How to be SA, how to be PA, how to be SSA? Is it about that as a youth? Number two, mental preparedness. How mentally prepared are you as a youth towards the role expected of you in society? Do you have the requisite knowledge base for the demands of politics, as the professor has said, and governance? I ask, what are your instruments of engagement in the political process? Is it your brain power? Is it your vocation? Is it your occupation? Or is it just the brute force that you have? Look at me, he combined most of these essentials. Talking about your vocation, talking about your brain power, talking about your charisma, talking about your occupation. And there are some who lack all of this. Their only hope to be a youth is that they have the brute power to suppress other society. Number three is relevance. And I ask that in the pecking order of relevance, where shall we place you as a youth? If you have a hierarchy as a youth, where do you belong? In a political party structure, as a youth, where do you belong? Is it the engine room of decision making? Do you belong to the committee of wise men of your political party? Now we find you in the cadre of telegrams, whether you're talking about the youth, or you are a manager of resources, or you are just a member of the gang of militia of the political party. Where do you belong as a youth? Number four is commitment. And I said, how committed are you to your belief? If any. Are you a fair weather youth? You are in APC today, if things turn around, you are in PDP tomorrow. Next tomorrow you are in Action Congress, next tomorrow you are a fair weather youth. You can't hold responsible for anything. Now how do you expect society to take this seriously? Those who call all governments and places in power. Are you dedicated to the cause and for what reasons?
On his part, the governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahya Bello, represented by his chief of staff, pharmacist Abdulkarim Asiku, preferred to differ from other speakers at the event when he noted that majority of issues confronting Nigerian youth in negotiating for relevance and inclusion in the process of governance stems from ethno-religious sentiments.
Please, I would like to differ. Our keynote speakers, the panelists, they have decided to blame the scenario of our country on the youth. But I choose to differ. Why? Because in my recent activity as the central coordinator of all support group, the youth support group that were involved in the presidential aspiration and campaign of His Excellency, my leader and mentor, I have traversed the same geopolitical zone of this country by roads, and I have seen the readiness of Nigerian youth and younger generation to take power. Worthy of mentioning is, and was on the 21st of May 2022, when we decided to test the microphone across the country, and we call on the youth of this country to march onto the streets and show their support for the aspiration of His Excellency Yahaya Bello. I have in all authority to say that we were all taken aback. From the north to the south, even in Anambra State, southeastern state, where we know there was insecurity, there was huge crowd. Even in Akwa Ibom State, across the 19 states of the north, simultaneous march in support of His Excellency Yahaya Bello, all by Nigerian youth and women. That is readiness. But as youth and younger generation, we cannot be discussing the solution to our problem if we fail to grasp the genesis of the problem. Some people have decided to be blaming the political class. That is never the genesis of our problem. And I want to please that we should all come and meet ourselves at a point of equilibrium, a neutral point that is independent of political party affiliation and or religious affiliation, so that we can understand ourselves.
Papers around the theme of the event were presented by Mr. Awodi Shaidu and Mrs. Charity Ijese Omoli, while Comrade Umar Dan Asebe Mohammed chaired the panel of discussion.
43 million Nigerians registering to vote in the election, and just 23 million voted in 2019 election. And in this particular cycle of registration going on, in June, INEC also...
High point of the event witnessed the celebration and cutting of cake to mark the 34th birthday of Ambassador Oladele John Nihi and the presentation of awards to winners of online paper presentation.
Congratulations on your 34th birthday. Thank you.